Welcome, children of herne. Now, I'm going to pick this up a bit because I made some faux pas last week. I couldn't think what I had to talk about, and halfway through the week I remembered what I had to talk about. Pyramids. You know, those funny spiky things that stick out in Egypt. Pyramids are all over the world. What are the use of the pyramids? Well, I believe they are, how can I put it? They're like a machine, they're like an engine, they charge energy. A lot of research has been done on these things, and what they have done, they had some sick patients. I think they had influenza and things. They divided half the patients up. They took water, ordinary water, and put it inside a pyramid. I am not sure the length of time, I think it was 48 hours. They gave one half of the patients ordinary water, and they gave the other half the water that was placed in the pyramids. A remarkable thing happened. The people that had the water from the pyramids thought it was medicine, but they were cured. It healed them. Electronic measurements have been taken inside these pyramids. You can, by the way, you can get these pyramids online, like a skeletal form of a pyramid. Food stays fresh in a pyramid. Why? Because of the energy that is bounced around inside this thing. It is a generator of energy. Its shape is very important. So what were the pyramids of Giza? Were they tombs that the pharaohs built within their lifetime? By the way, with all our modern technology, we couldn't build one that size in our lifetime. And considering they're, what, 2/3 smaller than what they were. And considering they were capped with a, I'm not sure what material it was, but it polished. It was shiny. If you look at the Great Pyramid in Giza, you'll find it's still got the top cap. It's still not disturbed. It was smooth, dead smooth. So what were they? Why were they created? Were they tombs? No, they were not tombs. But it brings me to another point. As I told you, meat, it preserves itself inside the pyramid, and yet they got an esophagus within the king's chamber in the pyramid. There was no body ever found in it. What was that esophagus used for? I have my own theories. Now, come on folks, this is only my own theories, so it's not gospel. The Egyptians had the power of brain surgery, they had electricity, they had very advanced medical knowledge. But when I think of the esophagus in the king's chamber, I think of Stargate. Could it be a method of healing? Interesting point. There's no other reason why they would have an esophagus in the Grand Pyramid. And it wasn't a tomb, it wasn't a temple. It was an energy converter, virtually. And the pyramids also line up, so they tell me, with the Pleiadians. The 3-star system. So they tell me. But there again, those who are ever in Giza will know there are lots of little small pyramids and they weren't lined up with anything. So is this a man's fancy or was it fact? So in the pattern of Egyptology, we come to Isis. When Isis was asked where she was from, she said she was from the North Star. Now that's interesting, because the North Star is Alpha Centauri in the star system Andromeda. No, sorry, bad mistake. In the star system of Sirius. Now, there is an opening, I believe, in one of the temples, and they're waiting for a star system to line up to exact position of these pyramids. So astronomically, as far as I can figure out, they line up in the year 212. Everybody is waiting for the injunction. You know, where all the planets are dead in line with the center of our galaxy? It's already done. It's already lined up. That's why we're going through this massive energy surge, this energy ripple that is hitting us. But remember, and get it into your heads, some of you haven't grasped this yet. You are not humans. You are spirit energy in a clay body or machine. That's what your body is. It's a biological machine. And you are the spirit energy that operates it. The real world that you function quite happily in and can maneuver around quite happily is, of course, the astral worlds. Why? It vibrates at a higher rate, at a higher frequency, yet you can function perfectly well without pain, sickness or anything else, and you have complete functionability. When there's something vital that you have to bring back to earth, your memory, you say, oh, it's unreal, it's so vivid. It's vivid because it's been planted within your mind. It's been explained to you. But there are a lot of other astral worlds out there which can be a little bit, how can I put it, hazardous for man. For what happens to the astral body also happens to the physical. Don't ever make that mistake. I have seen this happen with my own eyes. We used to meet astrally as a group of us, and we all lived about 150 miles away from each other. We used to meet and then write where we met and what the conversations was and who was there. And they all matched up every time. Until one day we had one of our friends got into difficulty with an astral being. And it was a battle. When he awoke, or should I say when he came to in his bed was covered in blood. No wounds, no sign of blood on him, no hemorrhaging from the nose or anything. We never know to this day where the blood came from. But on the astral he was hurt and he was bleeding. When he returned, I actually saw this, so it's perfectly true. When he returned, there was blood everywhere. It took him about 2 days to recover from that. So, I don't believe he ever went into astral travel again. It frightened the life out of him. Why did this happen? Because he went where he shouldn't have gone. Secondly, he had no protection whatsoever. You never astral travel at all unless you've got your guide with you, ever. It's too dangerous. So what I'm going to suggest to you, since the talk was on pyramids, those who wish to do experiments, and I think it will amaze you if you do, you can buy these little pyramids, you can buy big pyramids, you can get pyramids you can erect and climb in on them, inside them. For the ladies that watch this, it also decreases the aging process. I just thought I'd mention that. I don't know why. Dark Raven once threatened me. She told me I had to mention it.
No, I did not.
You're treading on dangerous ground, baby.
Yeah, I know. I'm treading very dangerous ground. Oh God.
If you wanted to kill you, then I suggest you continue.
Oh, she's only got to squeeze my shoulder or my wrist, and that'll be enough punishment, I think, for one day. Anyway, try, if you wish, make yourself a pyramid and try this. By the way, the Native Americans in days of old, before they were told they had to live in fucking wooden shacks, lived in teepees. I hasten to say the teepees were pyramidal shaped. Interesting point. There's also a huge great crystal pyramid that's been discovered on the peninsula of Cuba. There are other things that have been discovered which was unbelievable. I've seen programs on Discovery, if Atlantis exists, if this, is Atlantis a myth? For God's sake, grow up. They found Atlantis. The Geographical Organization discovered that. And it was concrete proof. And they put a gagging order on the Geographical, so they couldn't produce any of the data.
Of course they did.
Same as this UFO. They've not discovered one UFO, they've discovered 2 UFOs in the Baltic. Again, they will put a gagging order, or they'll explain it away as something completely different. Because they don't want to scare the public. Bullshit! I know what they want, all right. It's too deep for an ordinary diver to get down to them. You have to use special diving equipment to even get down there. You're talking great depth. The Baltic Sea is very, very deep. And Adrian is staring at the screen. I think he's going to try and tell me I'm near my timer.
I will in a couple of seconds.
In a couple of seconds? I've only got 2 seconds. You're getting as bad as your
14 minutes have passed.
14 minutes have passed. You're getting as bad as her indoors.
Shut up.
The ball and chain. Do you know, I've realised why I have difficulty in walking. It's this big ball and chain that's attached to my foot. I don't know how it got there. But I'm allowed to go out as long as the prison warden comes with me. Okay, folks, just a few acknowledgements. I look forward to speaking to the sisters, to Mary Ellen. It's a joy to speak to each one of you. As I say, don't listen to everything I say. Don't accept everything I say. Research it yourself. If it's in your heart, that, by the way, was Adrian knocking the camera.
Sorry.
And trying to confuse you all. He does that, you know.
I didn't mean to bang that.
But let's be honest, they've both been fabulous. If it wasn't for them, I'd be in a right state, I tell you. They've been very good to me. Those that sent me healing, I wish to thank each one of you. So I better go off, I suppose.
You better had you over 15 minutes,
Okay.
16 now.
Mary, we have met. merry we part. Merry we will meet again. Namaste.